Hi, everyone. I'm glad you could join us back again this week. For the last couple of weeks, we've talked about the beginning. We started with creation and then read about Adam and Eve. And last week, we did a tribute to moms for Mother's Day. This week, we're going to be talking about Noah. And we can kind of relate to what Noah was going through because we've been cooped up a lot. And that's kind of what Noah had to be feeling with his family being cooped up in the ark. They couldn't even go outside because of all the rain. Well, we're going to find out that there was a lot more important things going on than just worrying about being cooped up with a lot of smelly animals. So let's get into our story and find out what God's plan for Noah was. Okay, this week we're going to read from Genesis chapter 6, starting with verses 9. This is the story of Noah. He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Noah had no faults and was the only good man of his time. He lived in fellowship with God, but everyone else was evil in God's sight, and violence had spread everywhere. God looked at the world that he had created and saw that it was evil, for the people were all living evil lives. God said to Noah, "I have decided to put an end to all people. I will destroy them completely because the world is full of violent deeds. Build a boat for yourself out of good timber. Make rooms in it and cover it with tar inside and out. Make it 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. Make a roof for the boat and leave a space of 18 inches between the roof and the sides. Build it with 3 decks and put a door on the side. I am going to send a flood on the earth and destroy every living thing. Everything on earth will die, but I will make a covenant with you. Go to the boat with your wife, your sons, and their wives. Take into the boat with you a male and female of every kind of animal and of every kind of bird in order to keep them alive. Take along all kinds of food for you and for them." Noah did everything that God commanded. The flood, chapter 7. The Lord said to Noah, "Go into the boat with your whole family. I have found that you are the only one in all the world who does what is right. Take with you 7 pairs of each kind of ritually clean animal, but only 1 pair of each kind of unclean animal. Take also 7 pairs of each kind of bird. Do this so that every kind of animal and bird will be kept alive to reproduce again on the earth. 7 days from now, I am going to send rain that will fall for 40 days and nights in order to destroy all the living things that I have made." And Noah did everything that the Lord had commanded. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came to the earth. He and his wife and his sons and their wives went into the boat to escape the flood. A male and a female of every kind of animal and bird, whether ritually clean or unclean, went into the boat with Noah, as God had commanded. 7 days later, the flood came. When Noah was 600 years old, on the 7th day of the 2nd month, all of the outlets of the vast body of water beneath the earth burst open. All of the floodgates of the sky were opened, and the rain fell on the earth for 40 days and nights. On the same day, Noah and his wife went into the boat with their 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. With them went every kind of animal, domestic and wild, large and small, and every kind of bird. A male and a female of each kind of living being went into the boat with Noah, as God had commanded. Then the Lord shut the door behind Noah. The flood continued for 40 days, and the water became deep enough for the boat to float. The water became deeper, and the boat drifted to the surface. It became so deep that it covered the highest mountains. It went on rising until it was about 25 feet above the tops of the mountains. Every living being on the earth died, every bird, every animal, and every person. Everything on earth that breathed life. The Lord destroyed all living things on the earth, human beings, animals, and birds. The only ones left were Noah and those who were on the boat with him. The water did not start going down for 150 days. The end of the flood, chapter 8. God had not forgotten Noah and all the animals with him in the boat. He caused a wind to blow, and the water started going down. The outlets of the water beneath the earth and the floodgates of the sky were closed. The rain stopped, and the water gradually went down for 150 days. On the 7th day of the 7th month, the boat came to rest on a mountain in the Aran range. The water kept going down, and on the 1st day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains appeared. After 40 days, Noah opened a window and sent out a raven. It did not come back, but kept flying around until the water was completely gone. Meanwhile, Noah sent out a dove to see if the water had gone down. But since the water still covered all of the land, the dove did not find a place to light. It flew back to the boat, and Noah reached out and took it in. He waited another 7 days and sent out the dove again. It returned to him in the evening with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. So Noah knew that the water had gone down. Then he waited another 7 days and sent the dove out once more. This time it did not come back. When Noah was 601 years old, on the 1st day of the 1st month, the water was gone. Noah removed the covering of the boat, looked around, and saw that the ground was getting dry. By the 27th day of the 2nd month, the earth was completely dry. God said to Noah, "Go out of the boat with your wife, your sons, and their wives. Take all of the birds and animals out with you so that they may reproduce and spread over all the earth." So Noah went out of the boat with his wife and sons and their wives. All the animals and the birds went out of the boat in groups of their own kind. Noah built an altar to the Lord. He took one of each kind of ritually clean animal and bird and burned them whole as a sacrifice on the altar. The odor of this sacrifice pleased the Lord, and he said to himself, "Never again will I put the earth under a curse because of what people do. I know that from the time you are young, their thoughts are evil. Never again will I destroy all living things as I have done this time. As long as the world exists, there will be a time for planting and a time for harvest. There will always be cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night." Chapter 9, God's Covenant with Noah. God blessed Noah and his sons and said, "Have many children, so that your descendants will live all over the earth. All the animals, birds, and fish will live in fear of you. They are all placed under your power. Now you can eat them, as well as green plants. I give them all to you for food. The one thing you must not eat is meat with blood still in it. I forbid this because the life is in the blood. If anyone takes human life, he will be punished. I will punish with death any animal that takes a human life. Human beings were made like God, so whoever murders one of them will be killed by someone else. You must have many children, so that your descendants will live all over the earth." God said to Noah and his sons, "I am now making my covenant with you and with your descendants and with all living things, all birds and all animals, everything that came out of the boat with you. With these words, I make my covenant with you. I promise that never again will all living things be destroyed by a flood. Never again will a flood destroy the earth. As a sign of this everlasting covenant, which I am making with you and with your all living things, I am putting my bow in the clouds. It will be a sign of my covenant with the world. Whenever I cover the sky with clouds and a rainbow appears, I will remember my promise to you and all the animals that a flood will never again destroy all living things. When the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between me and all living things on earth. This is the sign of the promise which I am making to all living things." Wow, what a ride, right? God's plan for Noah was for Noah to be a new beginning. So everything that was before is now gone. He also had a plan to make a covenant with us. Remember, new beginnings can be a little bit scary, but just remember, every time you're starting something new, you're not doing it by yourself. You always have support. We've all had to experience a lot of new firsts in the last several weeks, but none of us have been alone during this time. So this week, I want you to look around you. There are new beginnings everywhere. If it rains this week, look up. If you can spot a rainbow, I'd love for you to send me a picture of that. I'm going to be looking for one too. If you get on the church website, there's some links that we can go to the zoo together this week. We can also journey to a Noah's Ark experience. So I would love for you guys to check out the website, look at those links. I guarantee you the Noah's Ark journey is amazing. I've been on it. And I just hope it sparks your interest to maybe want to go visit it as a family. There's also a couple other activities, some riddles, and maybe you can try to guess what my favorite animal is at the zoo. So enjoy your week. Please keep in touch. So Ellie, Savannah, Ian, McKenna, Grace, Olivia, Carissa, I hope you guys all have a great week, and I look forward to hearing from you.